Cancel Netflix is trending on X. Netflix's stock is on the decline, and it's all because of Elon Musk. Let's get into it. So this morning, I went on X and I saw a bunch of people canceling their subscriptions to Netflix, and I was like, what is this about? And I found out that over last night into this morning, depending on when you're watching this, Patreon members get to see these videos early, so make sure to go check out Patreon. Link is in the description. But last night, it seems that Elon Musk started a whole trend on X of people canceling their subscriptions to Netflix. This is Mario Nawfal. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but that's who it is. On X says, Netflix subscribers flee over transgender kids show. Netflix is facing a fresh wave of backlash and losing tens of thousands of subscribers after refusing to act against Dead End Paranormal Park creator Hamish Steele. The animated show aimed at kids follows Barney, a transgender boy, and Norma, an autistic Pakistani American girl. What? Working in a haunted theme park with a talking dog and demon sidekick. Great stuff. Steele, who uses he, they pronouns, is now under fire for mocking the assassination of Charlie Kirk and calling him a, quote, Nazi in resurfaced posts. Netflix continues to platform the show despite mounting pressure and boycotts. Parents, pay attention to what your kids are watching because Netflix clearly isn't. Let's take a look at this clip and see what the big deal is.
It's not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place. I can just be Barney, and I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier. And that's saying something when I spent today chased by terrifying zombie mascots. Pugsley reminded me how important it is to live your life without apology. So I think I gotta give living here a shot, don't you?
You don't need my permission. I just wouldn't want Courtney as a roommate. We'll be the best of friends.
What even is this? I'm so confused. And then this is along with a retweet from Elon Musk that says, cancel Netflix for the health of your kids. And a lot of people are listening to that. A lot of people are canceling their Netflix accounts. Let me show you some of the screenshots I've seen that are just people flooding Netflix with cancellations. Look at this. This is posted by Doge Designer. Breaking, Netflix is seeing massive subscription cancellations right now as Elon Musk joins boycott over woke content. If you scroll through X right now and you look up cancel Netflix, you're going to see just dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and hundreds of these cancellations, if not thousands. And you'll also see a bunch of other examples circulating of shows promoting just nonsense gender ideology stuff like this.
Hey, it's okay. I know I'm safe when I'm with my friends or other non-binary people.
Non-binary?
People who aren't female or male. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have assumed.
I always knew my pronouns felt right, but what a wonderful word for a wonderful experience.
Hold on. Is the robot non-binary? Is that what this is? I mean, that actually makes sense. If anything makes sense in all of this and all of these ridiculous clips, that makes the most sense because robots legitimately have no gender and no sex because they're not biological beings. But biological beings, humans at the very least, do have a biological sex that is unchangeable. That is an immutable characteristic. Here's an example posted by Ian Miles Chong. And this is a Netflix show, Cocomelon. Everybody knows Cocomelon, which features an interracial gay dad couple attempting to raise a baby as transgender who make the toddler dance for them in drag. What are we doing? What is this?
Thing that we know about you, you love to get up and dance. How about you break out those moves for your two biggest fans?
I'm gonna throw up. Horrendous. And here's another one of, I guess this is another like Transformers clip. Let's see.
Of course. Morgan, can you switch,
Nightshade's pronouns are they, them.
He or she just
What in the world?
Fit who I am. My apologies. Please switch their piece. Now, the plan.
Bruh. So all of these clips circulating and all these people posting screenshots of canceling their subscriptions led to a decline in Netflix's stock price. Specifically, overnight in the futures indexes, it was losing about 2.5% Now, that's definitely not enough. There should definitely be more of a loss than that. I think they need the full Bud Light treatment because this ideology is particularly disgusting. And a lot of people are going to have the question of like, why is this such a problem? Why do you guys care so much if kids are taught to be accepting of other gender expressions or some nonsense? And the reason is because this is just a harmful ideology. It's not good for anybody. Everybody who accepts this ideology and believes these lies about themselves is harming themselves emotionally, oftentimes physically, enriching cosmetic surgeons in the process. A lot of times, this ends up with children taking hormone blockers so that they don't end up going through puberty. And this sterilizes them so they can never have kids. This is not something that's just reversible. Speaking of unreversible, warning this is, I'm going to show a graphic image of a young girl who got her breasts removed, and her mom is standing there beside her, just thrilled about this whole thing. This is a graphic picture, so if you don't want to see that, look away or I don't know, change the video or something. But here we go. This is honestly hard to look at. This is a young girl who has dyed her hair pink and purple and whatever other colors and has gone and received surgery removing her breasts. Now let's think about what this means. If this girl were to one day decide, you know what, that was kind of just a weird phase thing that I was going through because I was influenced by, shows like Netflix, shows that like the ones you can find on Netflix or other YouTube channels or whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and reverse this. Well, you can't. This girl now, if she decides to return to accepting herself as a woman, she will likely not be able to have kids because she's probably taking hormones. She will never be able to be a normal woman and do all the normal things that women normally do, but she'll also especially never be a man. And so this ideology going through with things like this that are irreversible and physically change you in ways that you cannot undo. They leave you in this in between state because you end up not feeling like a normal woman because you can't do normal things that normal women can do. But you also definitely don't feel like a man because a woman cannot become a man and vice versa. This isn't just me talking about this from some outsider perspective. These are the things that detransitioners, as they're called, talk about when they discuss their experiences. If, for example, Chloe Cole, who has been on Pints with Aquinas, Lila Rose, she's been on all kinds of podcasts talking about her experience when she was a child. She was confused by online material on YouTube and other sites into thinking that her discomfort with her body while she was going through puberty actually meant that she was a boy. So she got irreversible surgery, she got hormone treatments, and now there are many things that she can't do that women can normally do. She can't have children. Her life is irrevocably changed because of this ideology. And this is not anecdotal either. There are studies that show even after surgery, people resort to harming themselves and sometimes unaliving themselves because of the consequences of this ideology. For example, let's take a look at this study called Risk of Suicide and Self-Harm Following Gender Affirmation Surgery. So the introduction says, with the growing acceptance of transgender individuals, the number of gender affirmation surgeries has increased. Transgender individuals face elevated depression rates, leading to an increase in suicide ideation and attempts. This study evaluates the risk of suicide or self-harm associated with gender affirmation procedures. So, we've all heard the trope that if you really love these people, you just give them gender affirmation care, and then that'll prevent them from harming themselves or wanting to kill themselves. This study evaluates whether or not that is actually true. Let's look at the results. Individuals who underwent gender-affirming surgery had a 12.12-fold higher suicide attempt risk than those who did not. And in the conclusion of their abstract, they say patients who have undergone gender-affirming surgery are associated with a significantly elevated risk of suicide, highlighting the necessity for comprehensive post-procedure psychiatric support. Rather than post-procedure psychiatric support, I think it's probably best to just get rid of these procedures altogether and not enrich surgeons by letting them harm children and mutilate them. But that's just me. What do I know? By the way, I should add that this retrospective study was very comprehensive. It involved over 90 million patients. And probably the worst part about all of this is if you just leave the kids alone, even if they are somewhat confused about what gender they think they are, if you just don't give them some irreversible surgeries or hormone treatments, most of the time, in fact, almost every single time, the children will grow out of it and they will return to identifying as their biological sex. This is exactly what the study shows. So this study here, a follow-up study of boys with gender identity disorder, found 87.8% desisted So they did a study of boys who thought they were transgender. The mean age of the boys was around 7.5 years old. And they followed up with them later and found that 87.8% of them desisted from their transgender ideology. They just returned to accepting that they're boys. So almost 9 out of 10 children, if you just don't give them these gender affirmation surgeries, will just grow out of this. They'll stop. All of this is why Pope Francis, God rest his soul, said gender ideology is the ugliest danger of our time. And in fact, under Pope Francis's pontificate, there was a document produced called Dignitas Infinita, which means infinite dignity. It's about the infinite dignity of the human person. And there was a section on gender theory. It's a very good document. I highly recommend everybody go and read it. I'll leave a link to it in the description if I remember. If I don't remember, make sure to comment below so that I can get you the link. None of this is to encourage hatred or discrimination against anybody for any reason. Nobody should go be mean to somebody because that person is confused about their gender. Nobody should go be mean to somebody because they've had surgeries to try to look like the opposite sex. But we should speak the truth in love to anybody who is confused about their gender. And we should tell them that, no, the sex you were born as is the sex you will always be. You can never change that. You were not born in the wrong body. There's nothing wrong with your physical body. And you don't need to mutilate your physical body and take experimental hormones in an attempt to be your true self. You already are your true self. And you should learn to love yourself as you are, rather than trying to mutilate your body into oblivion or take artificial hormones in pursuit of something that is biologically impossible, which is membership of the opposite sex. It can never happen. It's impossible. And studies show that if you just work on yourself mentally, 90% of the time, you're going to grow out of this ideology, you're going to grow out of this gender dysphoria, and you're going to be fine as you are. And you're not going to have regret of doing all of these irreversible surgeries and hormone treatments that will change your body in ways that you cannot undo. Again, don't take it from me. Take it from Chloe Cole herself. She did an interview with Matt Fradd on this very topic. I will leave the link in the description. There are countless others with almost the same exact story of people who had all of these treatments done to them and then regretted it and now have changes to their body that they cannot undo. It has altered their lives forever. Meanwhile, Netflix is pushing this on children as young as 7 years old, and surgeons are making millions and millions of dollars by performing these mutilations on children. It's evil and it needs to stop. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful to you in some way. If you did cancel your Netflix subscription and you're wondering where can I redirect this money towards somebody who is aligned with my values, my Patreon is linked in the description, patreon.com/sipswithsarah. You get early access to these videos as well as exclusive videos, full interviews. Interviews are recorded live in front of Patreon supporters. You can ask any questions you have to anybody that I interview. So if you're interested in all of those perks and probably others that I'm forgetting to mention, go and check out the Patreon linked in the description and in the pinned comment. And until I see you next time, God bless. Cheers.